You're going to love this easy slow cooker barbecue chicken recipe. It's really mostly hands-free, and the hands-on part is actually perfect if you have little kids around and want to make this dish together as a family. But before we get started, we're going to wash our hands. In this first step, we're going to be handling raw chicken. It's really important to wash your hands immediately after that you touch raw chicken, and also just important to not touch anything, after picking up that chicken. So a good rule of thumb to kind of think about is when working with any raw meat is to use one hand to handle the meat and pick that up, and keep one hand clean. You can use that free, clean hand to move items around, turn on the faucet when you are ready to wash your hands. So a little tip I like to remember. All right, so now let's get started. We're going to place the chicken thighs on a broiler pan. And if you don't have a broiling pan, this is a really good makeshift way to do one. You can take a cooling rack that you normally use to when you're cooling cookies or muffins, and you can place this rack on top of a cookie sheet. And this is really just an easy way to have a makeshift broiling pan if you don't have one. All right, so we're going to season the chicken by sprinkling a little salt and pepper over the chicken thighs. And again, remember which hand you picked up the chicken with, and make sure you don't touch the salt and pepper with that. So we're going to use that other hand to season, the clean hand, to season the chicken thighs. And then immediately wash your hands after completing this step. We're going to set the oven to broil, and we're going to place the broiler pan in the middle of the oven rack and broil the chicken thighs for 3 to 4 minutes per side. All right, while the chicken broils, we're going to get started on our homemade barbecue sauce. First, we're going to mince 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to show you a little quick tip on how to easily mince garlic. So if you're starting with these fresh bulbs, you're going to separate 3 of the cloves from the garlic bulb. And then take a large kitchen knife, and we're going to lay the flat side of the knife over the clove of garlic. And then be sure to hold the handle of the knife with one hand and have the sharp blade facing away from you. And then we're going to crush this clove by hitting the flat side of the knife with the heel of our hand and not holding, the knife handle. So this is going to cause the skin to separate from the clove, and then gently remove the skin. So chop the clove by using a back and forth rocking motion with the knife. And then you can place your hand on top of the knife while you're doing this to keep that steady. And then continue chopping until the clove is finely minced. All right, in a small bowl, we're going to combine the cloves of garlic that you just minced with 2 teaspoons of prepared yellow mustard, a half a cup of honey or brown sugar, an 1/8 to 1/2 teaspoon of hot sauce. This really depends on how spicy you want your sauce. And then 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce and a tablespoon of cornstarch. So we're going to stir this sauce together until it is nice and smooth. It's really helpful to set a kitchen timer so you don't forget to flip the chicken halfway through. So after flipping our chicken, we're going to continue broiling it for 3 to 4 minutes on the other side. Now we're ready to put the chicken in our slow cooker, and we have lined the slow cooker with a slow cooker liner, which is disposable, and it's a really great saver on time and cleanup. So you can find these at the grocery store, on the food storage aisle. It's really handy when it comes to washing that slow cooker. All right, so we're going to place the chicken in the slow cooker and cook it with our homemade barbecue sauce. So if you have a lot of time, we're going to set the temperature to slow cook, and we would allow this to cook for 8 hours. And then if you're just running short on time, we can set the heat to high and cook the chicken for 4 to 6 hours. And the chicken's going to be tender and should fall off the bone when it's ready. So homemade barbecue sauce, like what we're using, is really a healthy alternative to store-bought sauce. So think about when you're making the sauce, you're in control of how much sugar you add, how much salt you add. And then when you compare that with a typical store-bought sauce, the difference is really astronomical. When you look at store-bought sauces, they range from like 300 to 350 milligrams in sodium and around 15 grams of sugar. And that's just looking at, a typical serving size, which is 2 tablespoons. Ours is only 105 milligrams of sodium and 8 grams of sugar per serving. So it's a great low sodium and low sugar alternative to some store-bought sauce. So once our chicken is ready and has cooled, we're going to shred the chicken using 2 forks. You can also use your hands as an alternative, but be sure to wash your hands before you get started. And this is really a great step if you're cooking with kids, too. It's really a good opportunity to teach them about food texture and how the texture can change, from baked chicken to shredded chicken. All right, so this delicious barbecue chicken sandwich can be enjoyed just as we are, enjoying it now on a bun as a chicken sandwich. You could also serve it as a barbecue chicken platter, and leftovers are a perfect topping for a barbecue chicken pizza.